Hoysalas of Dwarasamudra, this is one of the important dynasty which ruled our state Karnataka. So, hi, this is Manjunath sir. Let us continue our same lesson, that is southern part of Indian dynasty. So, in the previous video we had discussed about the Cholas. Now let us understand the Hoysalas of Dwarasamudra. And this is very important dynasty which ruled our Karnataka. So here with the help of the clear picture one can understand on which part of India the Hoysala dynasty was prevailing. Obviously this is the part over which that Hoysala dynasty was dominating. So one thing one has to understand, this Hoysala dynasty covered nearly 3 to 4 states like present Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, even Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, even certain areas of Kerala. So totally it covered 5 Indian states in southern part of India. And the important factor, this northern part of Karnataka, it was completely excluded from the from this dynasty because here the certain other rules were going on. So that is different factor. Here, after the Chalukyas became the weak in Karnataka, it was the Hoysala who became the very strong in southern part of India, especially our Karnataka. And here you can understand this is the place where Hoysala they started to rule. The founder of this dynasty is Sala on the order of the Jain monk, and Sudatta fought with the tiger and killed it near a particular village. And because of that reason, then Sala is the founder of this Hoysala dynasty. And it inspired the people to exclaim Hoysala, and he established his own empire, and that empire obviously called as a Hoysala dynasty. Here is the state emblem of Hoysala dynasty that one can understand by seeing the picture very easily. Let us continue further. Vishnuvardhana. So one of the important and famous ruler of the Hoysala dynasty, Vishnuvardhana. Vishnuvardhana was the important Hoysala king who came after the Nrupamma and many other small rulers. So that these are the important rulers. They were not having any imprint in the history of Karnataka. But Vishnuvardhana was very important person. Because of that, is an explanation on the Vishnuvardhana has been given for 8th standard in 8th 7th chapter. As a great king of this dynasty, that is Hoysala dynasty, he won Gangavati from the Cholas and earned the title, that is Taladugunda. Okay. In order to commemorate his victory, he built temples. The temple names Kirti Narayana temple in Talakadu and Chennakeshwar temple. So these are the important temples which were constructed by Vishnuvardhana in the memory of his victory. Vijayanagara temple at Belur. Another famous temple which was constructed by Vishnuvardhana, that is Vijayanagara temple at Beluru, and he tried to expand his kingdom, but he got defeated in the hand of Chalukya king, that is another Vikramaditya IV. And here the picture of the temples which were constructed by Vishnuvardhana has been given. Chennakeshwar temple at Beluru, Talakadu. So these are the very important places where the temples were constructed by Vishnuvardhana, one of the famous ruler of our southern part of Indian dynasty, especially Hoysala dynasty. Ramanujacharya could not spread the message of Vaishnava sect in the Chalukya kingdom and came to the Biti Deva's court, and under his patronage, the spread of his faith in the whole Karnataka. This kingdom declined during the reign of Ballala III. During the same period, Vijayanagara Empire came into power. Next, now let us understand contributions given by the Chola administration. The Hoysala had brought into the practice provincial system of the administration. The power to rule was given to the prince, queen and royal family. The official looked after the administration of the Nadu and Vishas. In the village, there used to be representative of the government like Gauda, Sahepa. Economic life. In order to encourage the agriculture sector in India, in Karnataka, southern part of India, the Hoysala built innumerable lakes in various places. Name of those Shanti Sagara, Balarayana Samudra, Vishnu Samudra, and many other lakes were constructed by the Hoysala kings for the agriculture, for the developing the agriculture sector in Karnataka. In the cities, there used to be built among the people following the different occupations. The land revenue was the main important source of the source for the kingdom. The people used to pay the land tax, and that was very important source of income for the kingdom. Apart from the land tax, then there were many other source of income. Even when there was wars to be won, so that used to be the source of income for the king. Now let's understand social life during the Hoysala kingdom. A unique features of this society was that the king used to have special army of the god called Garuda. When the king died, these Garuda guards would also sacrifice their life. Religion. So during the period of the Hoysala, different religions like Jainism, Buddhism, Vaishnavism, and many Veerashaivism and many other small religious sectors, they got originated during this Hoysala king, rule of the Hoysala kingdom. Education and Agrahara, Matas, temples were center of the education. These are the important places where the education was given to the people. There were excellent educational institutions at Melkote, Salegame, Arisikere, and many other places. So these are the places where excellent education were provided to the people. Next one. Here, study of the Vedas, Veda Shastra. Here, the study of the Vedas, Veda Shastra, Kannada, Sanskrit used to be the carried on. So these are the important study was made, and this is what was taught to the student during that age. Literature. Kannada literature flourished immensely. Rudrapatta wrote Jagannatha Vijaya. Next, their great poet Channa, he wrote Yashodhara Charita. Harihara composed Champu poem, Girija Kalyana. So these are the important books, literature which were written during the period of Hoysala kingdom. Raghavanka, famous poet, he authored Harshichandra Kavya. And Kesharaja wrote the book that is called Shabdamani Darpana, and this is the first Kannada grammar book in Kannada literature, and that was written by Kesharaja. Next one. Even in Sanskrit, the memorable works composed during the Srivasha by Ramanujacharya. Next one. Art and architecture. So the architecture of the Hoysala world is world famous. Hoysala got their innumerable temples built on the soapstone, and there are 5 features that can be seen in all the temples, and they have star-shaped and Staksham Sankstram and Gajati. So these are the important architecture system that were seen, that can be seen in the art and architecture of the Hoysala period. Decorum panels and shikara pillars. So these are the important feature one can see. Star-shaped sanctum here. So these are the important architecture which was constructed during the Hoysala kingdom. So how wonderfully it has been carved out, one can understand by seeing the pictures. So these are the pillars. There are beautiful idols, Madanikere, on the the brackets pillars of the Chennakeswara temple at Beluru. Military General Ketamalla built Hoysaleshwara temple at Halebeedu. Kesava temple constructed by Somadanda Nayaka at Somanathapura is very famous, and there are many temples and basidis in Arisikere and many other places in Karnataka, and all these are noted for their extremely delicate carving and Dasoja, Chavana, Jakana, Dankana were the some of the famous sculptures of that time. Chennakeswara temple at Beluru, an idol Madaniskar. So these are the important temples built during the Hoysala period. Chennakeswara temple, so it is world famous that one has to visit these are places, historical places, so that how to understand how in Karnataka history was glorified, especially in the field of literature, art and architecture. Many more poems were also written and grammar books were written. So these are the important temples. So these are world famous. Thank you for watching. So with this, then lesson came into an end. So we'll continue next chapter in next video. Thank you all.